Hello everyone and welcome to another true crime video. Today we have an exciting story that might seem like it's from a movie, but it's all real. It's about a man named Othman El Ballouti, who became one of the biggest drug dealers in Belgium. Stay tuned as we explore the story of how Othman went from being a small-time worker to a powerful criminal, and why he is still free today. Othman El Ballouti was born in 1986 in the city of Antwerp, Belgium. He grew up in a tough neighborhood with his family, who had come from Morocco in the 1980s to find a better life. But Othman chose a different path. Instead of staying away from crime, he got involved in dangerous things. As a teenager, he worked at the port of Antwerp, one of the biggest ports in Europe, helping to move illegal drugs, especially cocaine. This was a dangerous job, but Othman didn't care. Othman wasn't like the other people who worked for the drug dealers. Most people earned small amounts of money for doing very risky jobs. But Othman was smart. Instead of getting paid in money, he asked to be paid in cocaine. Why? Because he knew he could sell it later for a much higher price. By being paid in cocaine, Othman was able to make a lot more money than the others. This clever decision made him rich very quickly. As Othman made more money, he started building his own team. Soon, he didn't have to do the risky work of moving the drugs himself. He paid other people to do it for him. These people weren't as smart as Othman. They didn't ask to be paid in cocaine, so Othman made even more money. It didn't take long for him to become one of the biggest names in the drug business. He made millions of euros and became very powerful. But as he became richer and more powerful, the police began to notice him. The Belgian police started investigating Othman's activities because they thought he was one of the leaders of a huge cocaine smuggling operation in Antwerp. By the end of 2015, Othman knew he was in trouble. He had to escape before he got caught. In late 2015, Othman made a big decision. He left Belgium and moved to Dubai, a city in the United Arab Emirates. Dubai is known for its tall buildings, fancy cars, and luxury lifestyle. It's also known as a place where criminals can hide because there weren't agreements to send them back to their home countries. In Dubai, Othman lived in luxury. He bought expensive properties, including townhouses and luxury apartments. He also bought and sold expensive watches. Even though Othman was far away from Belgium, he continued to run his drug business from Dubai. He was part of a group of criminals who moved to Dubai around the same time. This group was known as the Super Cartel. The Super Cartel controlled much of the drug trade in Europe. They worked together to smuggle drugs into ports like Antwerp. Othman's wealth grew. He became one of the richest criminals in Belgium, richer than famous athletes like Kevin De Bruyne or Eden Hazard. But his money wasn't clean. There is blood on the money he uses to live luxuriously in Dubai, prosecutors would later say, showing that his fortune was tied to violence and crime. While Othman was living a rich and comfortable life in Dubai, his family back in Belgium wasn't so lucky. In 2016, Othman's younger brother, Younes, who was also known as El Magico, was kidnapped. Younes had just finished working out at a gym when 4 men grabbed him and forced him into a van. The kidnappers wanted millions of euros from Othman in exchange for Younes's safe return, but Othman refused to pay, saying he didn't have that much money. Younes was held captive for 5 weeks. He was moved from one place to another, from Antwerp to Paris. Finally, Younes managed to escape. He used a spoon to unlock his handcuffs and tied bed sheets together to climb out of a window. After escaping, he went to the local police for help. Othman later said that a Dutch drug lord named Hussein Ait Soussan was responsible for the kidnapping because he wanted revenge for being left out of the Antwerp cocaine smuggling route. In 2017, 4 men were arrested and sentenced to 12 years in prison for kidnapping Younes. These same kidnappers were also involved in the kidnapping of another man named Abdelkader Bouker. Unfortunately, Booker was never seen again, and it is believed that he was killed after a batch of cocaine was seized by the police. But the danger didn't stop there. In January 2023, something terrible happened to Othman's family. His 11-year-old niece, Firdaus, was killed when gunmen fired into a garage that had been turned into a living room. The bullets hit the young girl, and she later died in the hospital. This shooting was part of an ongoing gang war in Antwerp, where rival gangs were fighting for control of the drug trade. Othman, still living in Dubai, denied being involved in the drug war and said that his family would not seek revenge. But the death of his niece showed how dangerous his life of crime had become, not just for him, but for his family as well. The prosecutor investigating Othman's crimes said, "This type of crime does not remain without consequences and creates innocent victims, with the death of 11-year-old Firdaus as the low point." Othman's niece, who had nothing to do with the crimes, became one of the many victims of the violence caused by the drug trade. Despite the personal tragedies, Othman's drug business was still going strong. Antwerp became one of the most important ports for smuggling cocaine into Europe. In 2022, Belgian police seized a record 110 metric tons of cocaine. In one of the biggest busts, they found 10 tons of cocaine hidden in leather shipments. This massive operation was linked to Othman and his associates. The drug business in Antwerp became so big that rival gangs constantly fought for control. This led to a lot of violence in the city. In just a few years, there were over 50 shootings and bombings. These attacks were meant to scare rival gangs, but sometimes innocent people, like Othman's niece, got caught in the middle. Othman and his associates thought they were safe because they used special phones with encrypted messaging apps. These apps, like Sky ECC, were supposed to keep their communications secret from the police. But in 2020, Belgian police managed to hack into Sky ECC, which gave them access to all the messages criminals were sending. This was a big win for the police because it allowed them to learn more about Othman's drug operations. One of the things the police found in these messages was a plan to smuggle 840 kilos of cocaine into Antwerp in August 2020. The drugs were hidden in a container of bananas and brought to a warehouse where Othman's people removed the cocaine. Othman, using the nickname Big Brother, was the one who gave the order. His accomplices helped organize the transportation and paid the driver 25,000 euros to move the drugs. After the Sky ECC hack, several members of Othman's organization were arrested, including his brother and brothers-in-law. They were charged with drug trafficking and money laundering. Despite these arrests, Othman remained free, safely living in Dubai. In 2023, a video appeared online that shocked many people. A man who claimed to be from the Sinaloa Cartel, one of the most dangerous drug cartels in Mexico, sent a message directly to Othman. In the video, the man demanded that Othman pay back a debt he owed to the cartel. What made the video even more shocking was that the man showed his face, something criminals almost never do. He warned Othman to take the message seriously and pay the debt, though he didn't say what the debt was for. This video showed that Othman's criminal activities were not only causing problems in Europe, but had also caught the attention of dangerous drug lords in Mexico. The Sinaloa Cartel is known for being one of the most violent and powerful drug cartels in the world, so this was a serious threat. In July 2023, the United States government took action against Othman. The U.S. Treasury Department added Othman, his brother Yunus, and their business partner, Youssef Ben Azza, to a sanctions list. This meant that if they had any money or property in the United States, it could be frozen or taken away. The U.S. government accused Othman of running a huge drug trafficking operation that smuggled large amounts of cocaine into Europe. These sanctions also made it harder for Othman and his associates to do business with American companies. However, Othman didn't seem worried. He said that he didn't own any property in the United States and continued living his life of luxury in Dubai. Despite being linked to huge drug shipments, violence, and criminal organizations, Othman has never been caught. He remains one of Belgium's most notorious criminals, but he has managed to stay one step ahead of the law. His wealth and connections have allowed him to continue living a life of luxury in Dubai, while law enforcement agencies around the world try to gather enough evidence to prosecute him. Othman's story is one of crime, mystery, and power. He started as a small-time worker, moving drugs out of the port of Antwerp, but quickly became one of the most important figures in the drug world. His smart choices helped him make millions of euros and rise to the top of the criminal world. But his life of crime has also caused a lot of pain for his family and others. Prosecutors are now demanding that Othman face an 11-year prison sentence for importing 840 kilos of cocaine into Belgium. They also want to fine him 88,000 euros and take away over 6 million euros in criminal assets. The trial is still ongoing, but Othman remains out of reach, living comfortably in Dubai. The future for Othman is uncertain. Will he continue to live a life of luxury in Dubai, out of the reach of the law? Or will he finally be caught and brought to justice? Only time will tell. But for now, Othman El Ballouti remains a kingpin who cannot be captured. Thanks for watching. If you found this story interesting, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next true crime content. Until next time, stay safe.